91. We did have a very cold start to the day. Actually, a few of our northern counties got all the way down to the upper 20s by sunrise early this morning. North Augusta, this was really for a North Augusta location. It's actually over the Edgefield County line. I know a lot of us think North Augusta and Aiken County. This particular observation site is in the Edgefield County area, but 27 degrees. Same thing in Evans, or excuse me, same thing in Saluda. McCormick wasn't too far behind. Thompson got down to the upper 20s. Evans did get below freezing, actually 30 degrees, just not quite as cold as those other spots. But temperatures tonight, widespread mid and upper 20s, so even colder heading into late tonight and early tomorrow morning. No surprise, we do have freeze warnings in effect across the area. This goes for every single county in the CSRA, so all the way from Saluda County down to Emmanuel County, we are expecting those freezing temperatures heading into tomorrow morning. A freeze watch is already in effect for most of the CSRA tomorrow night through Thursday morning, so this will likely turn into our next freeze warning once we do get within 24 hours. So remember, the watch is just in place before the warning comes out. But freezing temperatures do look likely Wednesday, Thursday morning. Here's a look at the temperatures we're expecting for Bushfield. So we know Bushfield is one of those colder spots, but going all the way down to 26 degrees. And honestly, folks, I would not be surprised if Bushfield gets even colder than this number. It's going to be highly dependent on what our winds do tonight. We have very dry air in place, so if our winds stay calm, then Bushfield could get much lower than that 26 we're going with. But overall, we're expecting just a little bit of wind, so that should keep us generally into the mid-20s. A few degrees warmer Thursday, but not by much. Still well below freezing, which is why those freeze watches are in effect. We'll see a brief warm-up Friday and Saturday morning. That's going to be ahead of our next incoming cold front. Behind that front, we are going to drop back down to the 30s. So overall, over the next 6 to 10 days, we are expecting a cooler than average outlook. So unfortunately, not really much spring-like weather in the forecast over the next week or so. Do have a pretty awesome view of some high school baseball going on at SRP Park. So this is Fox Creek taking on Silver Bluff. They got the varsity game that started just a little bit after 7 p.m. And you can see the crowd is just kind of bundled up. A few of them actually have some blankets out there, and they are needed. It's pretty chilly right now here around Augusta with temps in the mid-50s. We got a steady northwest wind between 10 to 15, and you can see our dew points all the way down to 18. So that's that very dry air in place. And if winds do calm down late tonight, we could see our lows all the way down to the low 20s. Here's what we're expecting in general for places like Bushfield, away from the city environment. Should be dropping to near the freezing mark by 2, 3, 4 a.m. And then it's going to be a solid 4 to 5 hour stretch of freezing temperatures across the area through around sunrise tomorrow morning. So if you do have sensitive plants, make sure they're covered up. Make sure your outdoor pets have a way to stay warm as well. And we are going to hang on to clear skies. That is the good news. If you want to check out the space station, so the space station is going to be flying overhead at 9:21. This one only lasts 3 minutes, so you do have to make sure you're right out there at the time. And then it's just looking towards that northwestern sky, the western sky, starting in the west-southwest, ending in the west-northwest. But that max height should be visible to most of us. Once again, no clouds to worry about, and it should be just high enough above that horizon to where even if you have a few trees around, you should be able to check that out. So that's going to be later tonight at 9:21. We have a better opportunity to see the space station tomorrow night. If you've been following us the last couple of days, we've been talking about the urban heat island effect. So city environments do stay much warmer overnight after sunny days. We had a good bit of sunshine this afternoon, so that warmed up all the concrete, asphalt around downtown Augusta. So I would imagine if you live between the Augusta Mall, downtown Augusta, your low temps tonight will most likely stay in the mid-30s, but as soon as you get away from that city environment, you're going to be dropping into the 20s for overnight lows and potentially as low as the mid-20s. So it's going to be a big temperature difference between our two airports here around Augusta tomorrow morning. But just plan accordingly. Obviously, if you have pets, sensitive plants, things like that. But really for the central and northern CSRA, if you don't live in a very urbanized environment, you're going to drop down into the mid and upper 20s late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Our southern counties may not be quite as cold, but still below freezing, which is why they are underneath the freeze warning. Places like Swainsboro, Sylvania, Allendale, most likely low 30s, but then again, highly dependent on what our winds do tonight. If our winds just go slack calm, we could see these temperatures really bottom out much colder than what's forecasted. We are going to see plenty of sunshine again Wednesday. High temperatures today stayed in the 50s. We should be at least able to see the 60s tomorrow afternoon, and winds definitely don't look as breezy as what they were today. So those winds will start to go a little bit calmer out of the northwest tomorrow. Back down into the upper 20s and low 30s Thursday morning, so this is why our freeze watch is in effect for tomorrow night and early Thursday. So if you brought your plants inside, you may just want to leave them inside until these cold temperatures do go away later into the week. We are expecting plenty of sunshine Wednesday. We're going to have high pressure right on top of us, so this is what's actually going to bring pretty calmer, much calmer winds across the the southeast as this high pressure dome just kind of sets up right on top of us. We'll see a few more clouds work their way in late into the day Thursday, but in general, mostly sunny during the day Thursday. And then on Friday, late into the day, that's when we're expecting our next front to show up. Now, this is the good news. If you are traveling to Savannah to go check out the St. Patrick's Day Parade, we know that kicks off kind of early into the day through around lunchtime. That does look dry. Savannah should stay dry for the first half of Friday, and honestly, even for us here in Augusta, we're not really expecting higher rain chances Friday until we get to much later into the afternoon, and it's really Friday night to where most of this rain does start to impact the CSRA and moving closer towards the coast as we end the overnight Friday and early Saturday morning. Not a washout this weekend, though. We could see a few morning showers Saturday, but by around lunchtime Saturday, most of this rain is now moving towards Savannah, Charleston, and closer towards the coastline. So we should enjoy mostly dry weather this weekend outside of Saturday morning, but temperatures will be a little bit cool, at least cooler than average, as this front, we do get on the back side of this cold front. Looking at our two long-range models, there's going to be the potential for some heavy rain in a few spots. Maybe we do see a few locations, maybe up to an inch. The European model is definitely favoring that as a higher chance. GFS model, not really forecasting that much in the way of rain totals over an inch, at least for us, but there will be heavy rain at times with this front. It will be kicking up some pretty decent rain rates, but it should be moving quick enough to where we just don't necessarily see a huge flooding impact. Right now, the Weather Prediction Center does have our western counties underneath a marginal flood risk, so that would just be for very flood-prone areas. If you just see heavy rain for a little amount of time and that water can't drain efficiently, then that's where we could have some minor issues. But overall, the good news is we're not expecting a severe weather risk with this front Friday, and overall, the flooding risk does look very low for most of us. As we move into next week, it's looking even colder for us, at least with high temperatures. We should stay in the 50s for highs Sunday, Monday, and most likely even Tuesday rolling into next week. So this is not the best forecast if you're a fan of spring-like temperatures. It's going to be feeling more like wintertime for us around here. And we do have some more heavy rain that's going to move in Tuesday. Right now, what we're looking at with our long-range models is that Tuesday actually could be an inch or two. So some even heavier rain moves in next Tuesday. So that's going to be the next thing that we're watching once this front moves through late into the week. But remember, for the near term, just protect your sensitive outdoor plants tonight, tomorrow night, and make sure your pets have a way to stay warm as well, as those temperatures will be very cold waking up early tomorrow and Thursday. Hope you have a great night. We'll see you again on News 12 at 11.